again, over to you, Raf. We've just changed one of the recommendations at the end, number 8. Number 8, so just asking for advice on the previous allocations. This is for the inflation-adjusted component following the earthquake by the end of May 2018, and that way the decision that comes back to Council on that matter can be factored into the LTP. Yep. So you're happy to move? Do I have a seconder? Jamie? Phil?
Question? I have got a question. It's in relation to the recommendation 5B, and just clarification for the civic and community projects part. Because it just seems to me that with government having supported the 4 wellbeings, that if possible we should include, well, can we include concepts like social and cultural wellbeing as part of the benefit? I guess that's a question of staff, just to make sure we get that right. Well,
look, the first one, the first category picks up economic or environmental benefits. So
quite specifically.
The second one...
could we just pop in there social and cultural benefit for the city?
Yeah, we could put social and cultural benefit as long as that's as wide as a benefit.
That's the question, and I just wonder if I just want like staff view on that.
What I don't want is to limit it.
Precisely, I'm the same.
And so the question I would ask back to you is, do we need to add in social and cultural, given that a benefit includes social and cultural?
Well, it should, and I guess I was really just wanting clarification.
Well, let's not put it that way. Hang on.
Benefit
go
including
back.
Social
go back. Evidence that the project demonstrates a benefit, including social and cultural, for the city of Christchurch, and including the social and cultural well-being, including social and cultural well-being. No, in brackets, including. Yeah.
Mayor,
what wouldn't?
This fund is quite specific. I mean, you have a fund, whatever the metropolitan grants, strengthening communities. This is split between economic development and civic and community projects. It kind of includes a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I know. I don't think it's necessary at all. I'm trying to be helpful. Well, there is a fear that it would limit it.
Well, I wonder what the staff view though is about that. That was my question really. I should have said, look,
because we're the ones who make the decisions, Phil. So there's no point asking staff advice as to whether, from a legal point of view, the word including limits or frames
or excludes.
Or excludes. Oh, yeah, but then why point? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm of the view that it needs to come out, so take it out. And
I think it's best to take it out.
I cannot think of a social and or cultural benefit that is not included in the words a benefit.
Correct. Yeah. Look, my reason for asking this was so that in fact the fund is linked with the Local Government Act and those 4 wellbeings. That's all. But I don't want to exclude any benefit either.
This is not rates income at all. Well, it actually enables us to go way beyond that, and it's and innovation and
so you have been specific.
In fact, what's missing from A is the word innovation. So evidence of the economic or environmental benefits. It should be evidence of the innovation, economic or environmental benefits, because innovation may not be necessarily an immediate economic benefit. Yeah. Yanni and then Glenn.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit weird that we're requiring evidence before these projects are even done. I would have thought evidence is kind of the thing that comes after you've done the project, so you can monitor it. But I just, given that it's been raised, I just wondered if staff had any advice on when the fund was established. We went through quite a rigorous public consultation about how the city wanted to spend the money, and we had a specific SCP, and given that we're making some significant changes,
they're not significant
around the
changes.
process and possibly around the inflation adjustment, have staff considered, once we get that further work back, a sort of public process to engage the community about how they see this money could be spent?
So you are asking how the money could be spent, or whether there's consultation needed?
Whether they would see any consultation needed around, particularly going into the inflation adjustment, but also if we were to change some of the things
We
that have been
already
suggested.
have provision to go into the inflation adjustment with 80%
Right.
support,
Yeah.
and that is going to come back to council for a decision.
Right,
There
I
is
understand
no
that.
need to go back out for a special consultative procedure, because this is simply formulating a set of criteria that were assumed rather than explicit.
So I
We
was just-
changed the definition last year.
No, I understand that, but if we were making changes, so people have proposed making changes to some of the criteria, and all I was asking is, would the staff see a need to go out and consult if we changed some of the provisions to the criteria?
You'll remember at the committee when this was discussed, there was no suggestion from the officers responsible that consultation would be needed, that this was all within the board policy of the fund already. So there was no suggestion.
And we could move an amendment to change some of the criteria without any consultation.
As long as it's not a significant change.
It would depend on the significance.
Right, so I've got someone moving this resolution. Jamie seconded it, good. Glenn, you had a...
Yeah, thank you. Obviously in the schedule of what it has been used for, you know, big money's gone to things like golf tournaments. So would those get through again with this? Is that the purpose of the fund, that it is so broad that...
We've asked for advice on the previous allocations following the earthquake for precisely the reason that we don't want to get into a debate today about any of those elements. We are not making decisions on allocation. The fund is fully allocated. That is why we've asked for advice on the inflation adjusted component for the next 3 years. And that will come back here before the end of May, so we can make a decision before the LTP is concluded.
Can I also comment on that there was a working group about 2 years ago that went through all of the criteria for this, and the council had accepted and changed the criteria. The golf tournaments predate that change in criteria.
Yeah. All right, I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried.